I am Bummi Anderson, and I am the host of Intersection Podcast. And I am doing a series of recordings to what I would call tips or words of advice for incoming college freshmen, particularly those college students who are attending HBCUs, and particularly students who are Black in particular, because that's where my burden lies. As a historian, as a writer, um, podcaster, author, as an HBCU advocate, that's where my passion lies. And even when I say historian, I'm referring to Black history. So I'm doing a series of tips and things that will hopefully will help parents and that they can share with their young people. But this particular piece is about building bridges rather than burning them. Okay. Building bridges rather than burning bridges. What do I mean by that? I mean simply this. We must teach our young people that no matter where they go in life, they're going to need help and assistance. Okay. And that help, oftentimes, that help and assistance cannot come from their parents, cannot come from a relative. Okay. Some of that help, and assistance is going to have to come from professors. And when I mean help, and assistance, I'm referring to when you graduate. Okay. All of us have to pay our dues. All of us. All of us who are older, we've paid dues. In other words, nothing comes to us easy. Things are not handed to us just because. Okay? There are things in life that are earned. Okay? And what I want college students, particularly Black students, to grab a hold of is that it is not a good practice to go back and forth with your professors and to be disrespectful to your professors, because you're going to need a professor's letter of recommendation when you leave college. If you're going to graduate school and medical school and law school, they're going to ask you specifically for letters of recommendations from your undergraduate professors. Not from your mama or your dad, not from your pastor, unless you're going to seminary. Okay. Graduate programs want letter recommendations from professors who can attest to your research ability, your ability to successfully navigate law school, medical school. They're gonna want letters from your professors. So I want particularly Black kids to grab this. So while you're being disrespectful to your college professors, those of you that are, and if you've had a history of being disrespectful to your high school teachers, same thing applies. They do letter recommendations as well. Okay. You don't want teachers, and not just, and let me stick a pin here, and not just for graduate school and for jobs, because for your jobs they're going to ask for letter recommendation. They might ask for references. That's what they're called. And they might want those references to be educationally related. Okay. But not just for jobs, not just for graduate school, but for D9 organizations. They ask for letters from professors. Okay. From service organizations. You might want to volunteer. You need a letter of recommendation. And these things cannot come from your parents. And I don't think we're understanding that. These letters of recommendations can't come from parents. They can't come from your aunties and your uncles and your cousins. No, no, no. They are going to have to come from people who can attest to who you are as a student and a citizen in the community. And while you're going off on people, going off on your professors and talking back, when they ask you to do something, like take off your headsets, and you ignore them, or you talk back, or you being snarky with the professor and just being disrespectful, you want to keep that in mind, that you are burning a bridge that you are going to need. You're burning a bridge. And somehow this generation has don't they don't understand that life, there's a whole life beyond how your parents treat you and allow you to do certain things. Everybody's not going to do that. And I am concerned that there's too much of this. Now, other folk, I don't know what they say to their parents about teachers when they go home. I don't know what they think. But when they're in that classroom, they know why they're there. Or they at least show that they know why they're there. But we need to get an understanding while we're in these classrooms, to learn, to grow, develop, to become better people. So that when we enter the workforce, when we enter into our career fields, when we enter into our communities as citizens, we want to be productive and we want to be respected. That's what we want to do. I had a very interesting thing, and it happens to me often. Two of my high school teachers texted me in the same day about the passing of one of our high school teachers who did not teach me in high school, but knew me very well. Two teachers from my high school texted me. Okay. One of my college professors, whom I'm very close to, called me last week. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because the reason why I have a relationship with these people, and I've had a relationship with them for almost 40 years, because I've been out of high school for 35 years. I've been out of college for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. 30 years I've been out of college. High school, I've been out for 35 years. College, I've been out for 30 years. But I got a phone call from a college professor whom I speak with periodically by text or by phone call. And I got two text messages from two of my high school teachers that taught me when I was in the 10th grade. The reason why that is because I didn't burn a bridge with them. I built a bridge at 16. and at 18, 20, 19, that I can go back and forth on that bridge because that bridge was built because I wasn't a disrespectful student. This is what I want students to learn to get, particularly Black students. Be careful that you don't burn bridges in college and in high school, because those same bridges you're burning, you're going to need them when you enter into your career field, when you want to go to a graduate school, and when you want to be a Delta, you want to be an Alpha, you want to volunteer at the boys club or the girls club, because they're going to ask you for letters from your teachers. They rarely ask for letters from your preachers. Rarely do they ask you for a letter from your pastor. But they definitely gonna ask you for a letter from your teacher, your professor. Because they know that that teacher can really speak to your character. And not to say your pastor can't, but in that classroom setting, you interact with them every day, your teachers. That teacher can really give an assessment of who you are, can really speak to your abilities as a student, your capabilities as a student, and can speak to your attitude, because you know we don't show our pastors our real attitudes. But a teacher who's with you every day, or you're in college at least twice a week or 3 times a week, they know you, your capabilities, your potential, your expectations. They know you. They know your attitude. They know whether or not you are dependable. Because, for example, if you can't come to class on time, that speaks to the reality that you're not dependable. If you cannot attend class on time, or if you don't attend class as much as you're supposed to, they know you. So I really want us, Black kids in particular, to understand this. So before you consider going off on your teacher and going back and forth with your teacher, consider, is this a bridge that I need? You need to be constructing bridges, building them rather than destroying them, or not even getting the chance to construct them because you've already destroyed them. Think about it. Think about it.